You can feel it before you can explain it. She's sitting across from you at dinner. Same restaurant, same table, same laugh you've heard 100 times before. But something is different tonight. Her smile lands half a second late. Her eyes drift back to her phone between sentences. You're talking, but it feels like your words are hitting glass instead of skin. And the worst part? Nothing technically happened. No screaming fight, no breakup conversation, no dramatic betrayal. Just this strange, quiet distance, slowly filling the room like smoke you can't trace back to the fire. And your brain starts racing. Am I overthinking this? Did I do something wrong? Is she just stressed? Or is this the beginning of the end? Here's the truth most people completely miss. Women rarely lose feelings all at once. The emotional disconnection usually starts long before the relationship visibly breaks. Beneath the surface, her nervous system slowly stops feeling emotionally met, emotionally safe, emotionally reached. And when that happens, love doesn't disappear overnight. It goes underground first. And, bro, that matters. Because if you can recognize the signs early, you still have time to repair what most couples ignore until it's too late. You're not failing at love. This does not automatically mean she stopped caring. And every couple that has ever deeply loved each other has stood in this exact emotional territory at some point. By the end of this video, you're going to understand the 7 subtle signs she's losing feelings before it becomes obvious. And more importantly, what those signs are actually trying to tell you beneath the surface. Let's get into it. Most couples believe relationships fall apart because somebody suddenly stopped loving the other person. But the real truth is far quieter than that. Disconnection happens in inches. It happens in the tiny moments where emotional bids stop getting answered, in the conversations that slowly become transactional, in the nervous system exhaustion that builds when two people stop feeling emotionally understood by each other. And here's what nobody explains. Your partner's nervous system is reading the relationship long before their conscious mind fully understands what's wrong. That's why someone can say, "I don't know what's happening to me lately," while simultaneously feeling more withdrawn every week. Because emotionally, they already feel the drift.
Most couples try to solve this by trying harder on the surface. More date nights, more texting, more reassurance, but not deeper emotional presence, not deeper curiosity, not real repair. And without safety, effort starts feeling mechanical. This is especially true in attachment dynamics. When one person feels emotionally unseen for too long, they often stop protesting and start emotionally detaching instead. Not because they don't care, but because caring started feeling painful. That's the part people miss. What looks like distance is often disappointment that stayed unspoken for too long. And once you understand that, the signs stop looking random. They start telling a story. She stops bringing you into her inner world. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples think emotional intimacy is about deep conversations once in a while. But real connection is built through tiny, daily moments of inclusion. The random story she tells you in the kitchen, the meme she sends during work, the unnecessary detail about her day that technically didn't matter. Those moments matter more than people realize. Because when a woman feels emotionally connected to you, her nervous system naturally pulls you into her internal world. She wants you involved. She wants your presence woven into her day. But when feelings start fading, that invitation slowly disappears. Not dramatically, quietly. She stops updating you, stops sharing small thoughts, stops reaching for you emotionally first. And most people in relationships completely misread this. They think, she just needs space. But beneath the surface, something else is happening. Her emotional energy is no longer moving toward the relationship automatically. You'll feel it in small moments. Before, "Bro, you won't believe what happened at work today." Now, "Nothing really happened." Before, "I saw something today that reminded me of you." Now, silence. And here's what changes everything. This isn't about becoming more entertaining. Not more jokes, not more gifts, not performing harder for attention. It is about becoming emotionally present enough that she feels safe opening her inner world again. Because when someone feels deeply emotionally met, sharing becomes effortless again. And when you do that, the relationship stops feeling like two people managing logistics and starts feeling like two lives intertwining again. The conflict turns cold. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples think constant fighting means the relationship is dying. But psychologically, cold indifference is often far more dangerous than conflict. Because conflict still contains emotional investment. Silence often means emotional retreat. When she still argues passionately, some part of her is still saying, "Please reach me. Please understand me. Please fight for this with me." But when the arguments become flat, detached, emotionally exhausted, that's different. Now her nervous system is protecting itself instead of pursuing repair. And honestly, man, this is the sign many people notice too late. Before, "Why don't you ever listen to me?" Now, "It's fine." But it's not fine. Her brain is quietly registering, "I don't think being honest changes anything anymore." And most couples respond the wrong way here. They celebrate the reduced conflict because the house feels calmer. But beneath the surface, emotional scar tissue is forming slowly across hundreds of unresolved moments. Not yelling, not chaos, not dramatic toxicity. Just two people becoming emotionally unreachable to each other. And here's what nobody explains. A relationship heals when both people feel emotionally safe enough to stay present during discomfort. This isn't a communication trick. This is what emotionally mature love actually looks like. Instead of, "Why are you overreacting?" it becomes, "I think there's something deeper underneath what you're saying. Help me understand." That single shift changes everything, because that's when she stops feeling dismissed and starts feeling emotionally held again. She stops expecting you to show up. This one hurts. Most people in relationships think disappointment looks loud, but the deepest disappointment is usually silent. It's when someone quietly lowers their expectations because hoping started feeling unsafe. She stops asking for help, stops asking for reassurance, stops asking you to spend time together. Not because she suddenly became independent, because emotionally she stopped believing the reaching would matter. And beneath the surface, her nervous system is adapting to emotional absence. You'll hear it in subtle language changes. Before, "Can we talk tonight?" Now, "Never mind." Before, "I wish we spent more quality time together." Now, "It's okay. I know you're busy." And what's moving through her internally is, "I'm tired of feeling rejected from needing connection." Bro, that sentence destroys relationships quietly every single day. Most couples miss this because they think fewer needs means fewer problems. But emotionally healthy relationships are not built on emotional suppression. They are built on safe dependency. Not clinginess, not control, not losing yourself, but two people knowing they can reach for each other and actually be met. That's the real thing people are starving for. And when you respond consistently with presence instead of defensiveness, the walls between you start coming down without either of you forcing it. Her attention stops landing on you. This sign is subtle, but powerful. Most couples believe attraction disappears because chemistry fades naturally over time. But the real truth is attention follows emotional resonance. We naturally turn toward what emotionally nourishes us. And when connection weakens, her attention slowly stops landing on you the same way it used to. Not intentionally, automatically. She scrolls more while you talk, responds slower emotionally, seems physically present but psychologically elsewhere. And here's what changes everything. This usually is not about another person. Most of the time, it's about emotional disengagement happening beneath awareness. Her nervous system no longer anticipates emotional reward from the interaction. That sounds clinical, but in real life, it feels heartbreaking. Before, she looks up immediately when you enter the room. Now, you feel invisible standing 3 feet away. And most couples respond poorly here. They chase harder, get more reactive, become louder emotionally. But attention cannot be forced back through pressure. Not guilt, not jealousy, not control. Only renewed emotional safety and genuine curiosity rebuild attraction sustainably. Try this instead. Not, "You never pay attention to me anymore," but, "I miss feeling close to you lately. I don't want us to drift into roommates." That lands differently because criticism activates defensiveness, vulnerability invites connection. And that's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to solve and starts feeling like someone worth turning toward again.
She starts feeling relieved by distance. And this is the one most couples never figure out. When someone is emotionally connected, distance creates longing. When someone is emotionally exhausted, distance creates relief. That distinction matters more than almost anything else. If she seems lighter when she's away from the relationship than when she's inside it, her nervous system may associate the relationship with pressure instead of peace. And, bro, that doesn't automatically mean the relationship is doomed. But it does mean something real needs attention. Because healthy love feels like exhale, not constant emotional tension. You'll notice things like this. She used to miss you during time apart. Now she seems unusually content without contact. Before, I can't wait to see you later. Now, no real urgency to reconnect. And beneath the surface, something painful is happening. Her brain is quietly saying, I feel more emotionally regulated alone than together. That's not hatred, that's nervous system fatigue. And here's what nobody explains. Many couples accidentally create relationships where every interaction feels emotionally loaded. Every conversation becomes about fixing, discussing, analyzing, or managing tension. No playfulness, no ease, no emotional oxygen. But intimacy cannot survive in constant emotional pressure. Sometimes repair starts with bringing warmth back before solving every issue. A hand on her back, a softer tone, a genuine laugh together again. Small moments, huge impact. Because that's the shift that turns a relationship from emotionally draining back into emotionally safe. She stops letting herself be seen. This one goes deep. Most people think emotional withdrawal looks cold, but often it looks emotionally guarded. She shares less vulnerability, less softness, less truth. Not because she became emotionless, because somewhere along the way, openness stopped feeling safe. Maybe her feelings got minimized too many times. Maybe every vulnerable conversation turned into defensiveness. Maybe she started feeling emotionally alone even while sitting next to you. And slowly, the walls went up. Not all at once, brick by brick. Most couples don't notice this immediately because the relationship still technically functions. Bills get paid, plans get made, daily life continues. But emotionally, two people are disappearing from each other. Before, I'm scared lately. Now, I'm just tired. Before, I need you. Now, I'm good. And here's what changes everything. Emotional openness cannot be demanded. It has to feel safe enough to emerge naturally. Not interrogating her, not forcing conversations, not saying, just tell me what's wrong, but becoming someone whose presence feels emotionally safe to land in again. Sometimes that looks like simply staying calm long enough for honesty to survive the room. And when you do that, something inside her nervous system starts whispering. Maybe I don't have to protect myself so much anymore. That's where reconnection begins. She stops imagining the future with you. This is usually the final emotional shift before the distance becomes obvious. Most couples think relationships end when love disappears, but many relationships emotionally end earlier, when one person quietly stops envisioning a shared future. She stops talking about future trips, future plans, future milestones. And here's the painful part. Sometimes she doesn't even consciously realize she's doing it. Because emotionally, her mind has stopped investing energy into a future that no longer feels emotionally secure. The relationship starts existing only in the present tense. And beneath the surface, her nervous system is protecting her from future disappointment. You'll hear it subtly. Before, we should go there next summer. Now, you should go sometime. Before, when we move someday. Now, if that happens. Tiny language changes, massive emotional meaning. And this is where most couples panic. They either become desperate or emotionally shut down themselves. But neither creates safety. Because love doesn't rebuild through pressure, not begging, not convincing, not performing, but two people courageously becoming emotionally honest again. That's the real work. Saying, I don't just want to stay together, I want us to actually feel connected again. That sentence matters because this isn't about saving appearances, it's about rebuilding emotional reality. And when two people finally stop protecting themselves long enough to truly see each other again, even deep drift can begin reversing. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to become more emotionally aware,
more present, more honest about what connection actually needs to survive. Because when you understand these signs early, you stop reacting from panic and start responding with emotional clarity. And people feel that difference immediately. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming emotionally available enough that the person you love no longer feels alone standing beside you. That changes everything. Love rarely dies in one dramatic moment. It disappears slowly in the unspoken spaces between two people and heals the exact same way.